appreciate you joining and subscribing to the financially topics that we cover in the INS banking mode. And today I'm going to continue the first session about the concerns that I have for many of you that may not be participating in this AI robotic boom that we're entering into. It seems like a lot of it that we're seeing is happening here in 2025. And I know much of it was going on in the last half of 24. But how I see this coming down the pike for you from a financial standpoint is that, to be quite honest with you, I see a lot of jobs being taken by a better, more productive artificial intelligence or robotic worker. And so I want to encourage you, one way to combat this is to get your financial house in order to try to save and invest as much as you possibly can the next 4 or 5 years so that you can participate investing into AI and not be the recipient of all the bad, but try to grow your own financial well-being and your family's well-being by being a participant. So I want to encourage you about saving. I got some news articles I'm going to refer to here that further that reality that we are being inroads are growing in artificial intelligence, and many companies, big companies, are lining up with major commitments of dollars and resources they have, which tells me one thing is that there's going to be more and more jobs going in that direction. So I think many of us are kind of still caught asleep during this period of time and are not concerned about it, but got our heads down and plowing right on with the work we're doing, which means you could be highly vulnerable to being replaced by a robotic figure. And so I'm as first video, I want to give you a few tidbits of news, and then I want to encourage you to not be disappointed, because you may buy your own robot someday, and it may be a great resource for you, kind of what I'm hoping for and plan for. Robots don't have to take off. They don't get sick and have any sick days, or not many. And if they do, they're somewhere being rehabbed and put back into their position. And they don't have benefits to pay, which is a high cost to the employer. And they're continually working. They don't give you 4 or 5 hours of work for 8 hours of work time. They're working and not wasting time. We certainly would think, and they're on the job. So it's going to be a hard thing for you to match up and be equal to or exceed in production. So we need to recognize it's here now. It's not something 5 years from now. You might not be affected yet, but many are getting positioned to affect for these jobs. And I want you to save and invest and be a partaker of the good of something that's going to, it apparently will be far better overall in terms of production, in terms of output, growth of companies, and all these things. Recent article put up that showed that Amazon is more than doubling down on AI and is set to spend more than $100 billion per a recent article in the year of 2025, and that's in billions in U.S. dollars, more than 100. In this article, they were tops by 20 billion over the second company, and which was Microsoft with 80 billion, and then Google is spending 75 billion projected in 25. Meta, Facebook, spending 65 billion for the same year of 2025, and so these are some major companies spending major dollars, and it all leads to largely robotic production. And so, yes, these are major players spending big dollars in it, and it's going to trickle down to many other companies. So you need to be on your P's and Q's, I do think, because there's probably going to be more and more measurement of the production you give at your company and your job, and so I would recommend that you be the best you can be for your employer, and be worthy of retaining and keeping. But at the same time, take those high-paying jobs and good, well-paying jobs, and instead of spending the money and adjusting to it in a spending method, you should be stockpiling half of it if you can. If you can live on half and save and invest the other half, 5 years or so, you'll be very glad you did, and you'll become, an investor and a participant in the growth, and you will be a level of being a cheerleader for the good of artificial intelligence that's here with us, as we all can grow and do better. So that's my comments for you today. Is that this is real. It's here. Big companies are investing in it, and it's going to affect everybody ultimately, even down to us individually as a small business. It can make us a lot more competitive and allow us to do a lot of things that maybe we're not doing now, or we're doing with people that we do our best to count on and invest in them. So we'll just see how far that comes. It comes down the line. But these are some companies today that I noticed in an article that I wanted to bring to you that are investing in artificial intelligence. But see it positively. Just see it as a wake-up call for yourself, and that these job cuts are going to be part of it, especially in the technology area, industries. Those industries, retail. I noticed in the article further down that there were 6,419 job cuts, 96% increase announced 1 month in January of 24, and that number's up 20%. So retailers are coming off a successful holiday season, so it's working, Black Friday and everything, but they, yet in the midst of it, they were, lots of job cuts. The services industry, up 106% increase in the number of job cuts from December of 24 at the end of that year. So automotive industry sector had 4,549 job cuts in January, an increase of 123% from the 2,042 cuts a year ago in 23. So it is up 90% from the 2,399 cuts announced just 1 month prior to it. So the automobile industry is going to be affected, and most of them would say they made that investment for greater profitability. And so, it's hard to fight that in terms of what's best overall. I just let's see. Here's another list down a little bit further. And one of the biggest states in the country that's going to be affected is your big California. Uh, can you imagine? They're going to probably be one of the first on the scene in terms of a statewide thing, and they had a 19.2% increase in layoffs, 19,899, according to this article, in January of 25. Uh, California led the region, actually with 11,862 job cuts, followed by Texas, and the state of Washington was third in job cuts. So that's in that industry. Water companies cutting. They're cutting closures. Drove the highest number of layoffs last month with 16,123. Now this is again an article that just was published. Let's see the date of this. February the 6th, 2025. So just yesterday. This is a recap of companies cutting back and cutting jobs. So maybe you have not heard that. That's what I wanted to bring these items to you. Hiring plans. U.S. employers announced to hire 6,089 workers in January, 24% decrease from 7,999 hiring plans announced in December. It is up 13%, announced in January last year, which marked the lowest January total on record. The highest announcement occurred in technology and automotive, also happening to be the two of the largest job cutters. So, let some of this information and this knowledge motivate you to do more production, yes. More savings, yes, very much. Try to be a participant in this growth, and we can even some of the index things that we do. Some of these indexes are heavy loaded with the technology companies of Facebook, Microsoft, and the other companies, NVIDIA, and so forth. So retirement accounts can participate and grow, and so it can all be a good thing if you're positioned right and you have anticipated and getting yourself in a position so that you can invest and participate in that growth. So that's what this video is all about: is to encourage you. They're here. The jobs are beginning to change, and in a dramatic way. So let's get to work and grow our resources and try to be a participant. That's pretty much it. I'd be glad to comment or discuss it with you if you'll make a comment at the bottom. By the way, this is February, and so we're announcing some things in the RIA Club that we'll be doing for real estate investors coming in 25. And some of this will be affected by technology. But we want to get you in a group and plug in and grow your knowledge and training and participating in the real estate investing market. It's been a great thing for me in my career, and we just want to kind of break it down into a more focused small group methodology of teaching people deeper and deeper means of being an investor into real estate, which is going to be a benefit. It has always and will be in the future. If you want to know more about that, drop me a note. We will be doing a lot of it through videos and Zoom meetings, and you can participate with us in that. We have about 30 training videos on our Facebook site, aiaclub.com. Now, if you want to go there and join it and join our public, which is the official Alabama Real Estate Investors Association.